Hello.
Hi friends, good afternoon. This is Kanelwal, your host from Delhi, India, and we have Kimberly Calhoun joining us from Raleigh, North Carolina. And good afternoon and welcome to IBM TV's Celeb Tuesday. And as usual, we have a great lineup to discuss about celebrities, movies, music around the world. Henning Morales will be joining us on Hollywood Hour with Henning, followed by a couple of more interesting guests, and they will be discussing about Bollywood as well. So that's how the show is planned today. So Kim, how was the first show? Because I was not able to join the show because of the bandwidth issue.
Right. So bandwidth is a big issue nowadays. And I don't know if it's because there's so many people staying at home and using their bandwidth. Yay. But it is a big issue. And, this is something I helped develop many years ago is the ability to work from home. And bandwidth, the way we planned it out, it should be working better, but it's not. I need to step out just for 1 second.
Sure. So Kim will be joining us soon, but today we are discussing about Hollywood and Henning Morales, and then followed by Humaira Rahman. She'll be joining us, and she is a native Indian, and she understands Hollywood as well as Bollywood, so that would be great discussion. And then followed by our South African musician Nathan Rowe, and then we have a special guest Gwen joining us, and she is an American, but she lived in India for a while, and she also, followed Bollywood like us basically, and I think that would be great discussion because she knows how Bollywood movies are and how big and what kind of fancy movies we do, what kind of music and sound we play and all those stuff. So I think that would be great discussion. So we are looking forward for that show, and after that we have a great show called Vivian's China, which will be happening 2 p.m. EST. So I'll just play the info. And in the morning, we had a great White House report. So I would like our viewers to watch the report again by Bill President.
From IBM TV, International Broadcast Media, this is your report from Washington. There are 35 days left until the election. From the Associated Press comes our first story. In an election year like no other, the first debate between President Donald Trump and his Democratic challenger Joe Biden could be a pivotal moment in a race that has remained stubbornly unchanged in the face of historic turmoil. The Tuesday night debate will offer a massive platform for Trump and Biden to outline their starkly different visions for a country facing multiple crises, including racial justice protests and a pandemic that has killed more than 200,000 Americans and cost millions of jobs. The health emergency has upended the usual trappings of a presidential campaign, lending heightened importance to the debate. But amid intense political polarization, compared to few undecided voters remain, raising questions as to how or if the debate might shape a race that has been defined by bitterness and, at least so far, its stability. Biden will step onto the Cleveland stage holding leads in the polls, significant in the national surveys, closer in the battleground states, but facing questions about his turn in the spotlight, particularly considering Trump's withering attacks. And Trump, with only 35 days to change the course of the race, will have arguably his best chance to try to reframe the campaign as a choice election and not a referendum over his handling of a virus that has killed more people in America than any other nation. The debate could be shaped by an extraordinary of other recent moments. The death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg and the blockbuster revelations about Trump's long-standing hidden tax history, including that he paid only $750 a year in federal income tax in 2016 and 2017, and nothing in many other years. Separately, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is taking extraordinary steps to prepare for the 2020 election, seeking to increase Democrats' hold on state congressional delegations in the highly unusual scenario that the House is called on to resolve a disputed presidential contest. Quote, "We cannot leave anything to chance," said in a letter to her colleagues, emphasizing the importance of winning House seats for Democrats, not just to expand their majority, but to prepare for the possibility that the House will settle presidential race. She said she made the planning public after President Trump claimed recently that if the election ends up in Congress, he has the advantage over Democratic Joe Biden because Republicans control a few more delegations in the House. Quote, it's sad we have to plan this way, but it's what we must do to ensure that the election is not stolen. She said further that Trump has shown he, quote, will do whatever it takes to remain in power. Only a few elections have been decided in the House, and none since the 1800s. In other news, more than 1 million people have now died of coronavirus worldwide pandemic, less than 9 months after the first death was confirmed in the Chinese city of Wuhan. The U.S., Brazil, India, and Mexico account for more than 50% of the total death toll. What's worse, cases in these stricken countries are still skyrocketing. India recently surpassed 6 million confirmed cases, and 95,000 people have died in the country. Although Indian officials warned that these numbers may be woefully underreported. More than 141,000 people have died in the COVID pandemic in Brazil, the second highest total in the world. And the U.S. tops the grim list with more than 205,000 deaths. While the world holds out hope for a vaccine to curb the devastation, there are 35 now in human trials around the world. Health experts worry that the death toll may double any widespread relief is available. Next, in a new poll that shows that barely 10 Americans were taking first generation COVID vaccine if President Trump alone told them it was safe. One of the several new measures of sinking credibility in the latest wave, according to the Axios COVID index. Given 8 scenarios and asked how likely they were to try the vaccine in each case, respondents said they'd be most inclined if their doctor vouched for its safety, 62%, followed by insurance covering the full cost, 56%, and those who would act on Trump's assurances came in dead last at only 19%. Finally, the COVID death toll from Johns Hopkins is over 205,091 American souls lost, and 1,002,394 global souls lost with no end in sight. That is your report for September 29, 2020, from IBM TV, International Broadcast Media, Smart Television, smarter global community, from dictatorship to democracies around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I'm Bill Trezevant.
Wow.
So very well, very well done news by Bill.
It is, and it's almost nerve shocking to me. I guess we could have predicted this, but over 1 million souls lost. I mean, that's not like any flu we've ever seen, except for during the Spanish flu many years ago. Quite an epidemic or pandemic that the world has had to hit with. But, we've got so many good things that we can make out of this, right? Like we've united globally with some great people. We've got a lot of good, I've learned a lot. I don't know about you, Ankit, but I've learned a lot more about my own personal health, right? I'm doing so many better things for myself. Feeling more rested. All of the things that Dr. Segoo tells us, and Dr. Tula, and Dr. Arthur, and Dr. Moskowitz. I have changed my habits. I feel like I'm doing better. So, this is a good time to reflect on all of this. We're going into, how many days now is it?
For us or for COVID?
Well, both almost, right? Well, COVID, if we go back, it was actually, we shut down here in the U.S. March 7th. So what about, I think we're looking at over 6 months now.
Yeah, it's been over 6 months now, 6.5 months. I still remember I was in my office. Lastly, I visited sometime around 14th of March or maybe 13th of March. After that, I haven't visited the office. So, it's been over 6 months. And also, when you talk about COVID, if you talk about the actual days, it's been like it started in December, because since December, we were getting the news about China, there's some virus going on and all this stuff. But eventually, it hit to the world sometime in January end or February first week. And then it started with Europe and Spain and Italy and all this stuff. And then how it's expanded to the world now. In fact, we surpassed, in the death rate as well. If you compare the cases as compared to deaths in our country, we surpasses the cases as compared to deaths from Italy and Spain. So I think we are way ahead, and I don't know what's going on. And I mean, because see, I was just checking the vaccine updates, and there's still no update as such. I mean, Oxford is doing some trials. There are some issues and all those stuff, but I think we can talk about this on our Medical Friday Doctors show. Today it's Celeb Tuesday. We have a celebrity waiting us backstage, so I would like to invite her on.
Hello, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, where are you located at, Avia?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay. How do you pronounce your name?
Aviva.
Aviva. Very beautiful. So you're in Los Angeles, and tell us a little bit about what you're doing, how you got to where you are. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm a singer, songwriter, producer. Also, I was invited here by David Firestone, and I do pop soul music as well as, whatever any clients want me to do production-wise. I've worked with Henning, who I feel like I was told was in here maybe, and did a couple of the songs for his films, and yeah.
Oh, wow. So, oh, wow. I love Henning films. So, yeah, Henning comes here usually around this hour. You know, there's been some bandwidth issues all over the world today, so I'm glad to see you in. But so, how long have you been doing music production? That's a lot of, you got to know a lot of things. Share with us what's involved with your music production.
Well, I obviously started off as a singer, and so when I was in the studio, I would watch the engineer or the producer, do everything in the programs, and I got really interested in it. And so I picked up a couple of internships and worked under Grammy-winning Kofi Ajay, who's worked with some big names like Tajik Hall or people like that. So I learned a lot working under other producers, and then a lot of self-studying and dedication and having a vision and figuring it out.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. People don't understand. It's not like you just get up there and get on the stage and ta-da, you're the top singer of the world. There's a lot that goes into it, a lot of planning. You've got to be sometimes in the right place at the right time, networking. The amount of networking that goes into any entertainment business is phenomenal. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. Yeah, I think that's essential.
Oh, yeah. It's essential in any success, but I think it's you really have to do a lot of it in the entertainment business. It's not, just something that you can stay at home and hope somebody ta-da, there she is at home. No.
Oh, I know. Everyone's just waiting for lightning to strike.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of behind the scenes things that need to happen first.
Let's talk about a little bit about for the behind the scenes for you. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 5 years now.
Okay. And what guided you? And you started out as a singer, and you've been interning and learning how to do all of the production, which is a lot of work. But what guided you to this?
Towards the production?
Yes. Well, from singing into production. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I definitely feel like it's a really empowering position to be in if you have a vision and you're able to actually make it happen without needing the facility of somebody else. That's a much more empowering position to be in, especially as a woman. You don't have to, I just think it's better. More in control.
I get it. I'm a woman in business, and I did the same thing. The more I learn and teach myself, the less I can, have to worry about it getting done. I could just do it myself. I get it. I don't know if you call it empowering. I like your word empowering, but it's nice to know that you can do it if you have to, right? So that the job gets done. But I see a saxophone, an instrument behind you. Is that a sax?
It is, yes.
Okay. Do you play?
I do.
Oh, wow. So you sing and play the sax. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I play the saxophone and the piano.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's two diverse instruments there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I learned it like throughout middle school and high school, and then as I had actually stopped for a long time, and then once I started doing concerts and performing and stuff, I was like, this is just sitting in my room getting dusty. I should play this. And it's been like a big hit. So yeah.
Wow. So maybe we could get you to play for us one day. But that's what else goes into what you're doing day by day. You're doing some music for some of the Henning movies. Are there any other venues that you're doing? Do you play live?
Well, I mean, these are interesting times now. I did play live a bunch before COVID. I was supposed to play with Earth, Wind & Fire headlining in August.
Wow.
But that didn't happen. But hopefully next year we'll see how everything is going to circle out. But I am doing live streams on Twitch every week now, which is very fun. And so I'm doing my performances there. I have to be resourceful in these crazy times.
I know, right?
Yeah.
How do you find, so a little bit of business, let's talk a little bit of business about being in the music industry and how it's impacted you since COVID, because there's a huge difference of being able to get out there and tour, which is very important in your industry. But, where you're talking about going to Twitch or something like that, a lot of musicians, sometimes you play other people's music. Is it mostly your own unique music, or do you play other people's music? And if so, how do you get around the license issues and things like that?
Well, I always prefer to do my own originals, obviously, but I certainly do covers too.
Okay.
Because that's, fills out the time. People like it, I mean, on Twitch, there's really no licensing concerns. I do stuff on YouTube also, and there's like what's it called, like free trade, I don't know, like depending on the way of which you use it, it's like still valid. So yeah, I haven't really run into any particular licensing issues or anything, or
that's good,
infringements or anything.
So I mean, apart from playing music, do you listen to music around the world, or I mean, it's just about the music which you like from your country?
I feel like I love listening to music from all different types of cultures and stuff. I actually am even doing a song. It's a Schlager in German. I'm half German, so I'm even working with a producer for that market. And I love to listen to things from all over, actually. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And are you active on YouTube? Because on YouTube, there are a lot of YouTubers who do a lot of live music and gigs, and to make sure that someone could watch them or scout them at some point of time. What do you think about that? Because during the COVID, I mean, it's difficult to do live concerts, but there are a lot of new musicians coming up and doing streams on Twitch, on YouTube, on Instagram. So, do you follow all those people?
Do I? I mean, I think there's a lot of people. I don't know if I follow all of them, but I definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely see the value of social media. I'm so grateful for the ability to be on Zoom right now with you guys, for Twitch, for YouTube. I feel like, if we had been in this situation 20 years ago, it would have been a whole lot more difficult without, technology. And when I even think about, the platforms, like the discoverability on these platforms, if I think like the biggest concert that I've done so far was for like 8,000 people. And that was like a lot of work and a lot of, a lot of planning and all these things. And it was a great experience, don't get me wrong. But like my most viewed video on YouTube is like 27,000 people. It took me like 30 minutes to make.
Wow.
If I just think about like, the ability to reach some more people and all over the world and everything, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Oh,
do you follow Bollywood music?
Of course.
Any song or any song you follow, or any musician from Bollywood?
I know Tunak Tan. Is that a Bollywood song?
Yeah.
I think that one's really fun.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard a bunch of the songs, but I don't know all the names so far. But
Yeah, that's amazing. And do you know which is the top rated YouTube channel in the world in terms of viewers?
I feel like it's either Pootie Pie or an Indian one, right?
It's T series from India.
Teach it.
I think I have seen that. I have seen that, yeah.
So they are the top YouTube channel in the world. I mean, with the most subscribers around the world. And in fact, I mean, I don't know the commercials, but they got a lot of, I mean, royalty from YouTube as well, because they produce a lot of music around the world. I mean, from India, from Bollywood in different languages, and that's what it is all about. But in terms of Bollywood, I am from India, so I watch a lot of Bollywood movies apart from Hollywood thing. But our music is a little different from what we used to, I mean, listen best. And our music is not just about albums, but we integrate music in the movies as well, with background score and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you watch any Bollywood movies, you'll, I mean, maybe you'll understand that what kind of music they're playing, because I'm not a musician myself, but I just understand the business part of it, or maybe how we can commercialize it and making it more successful. But I think apart from that, we also do a lot of classical music and instruments as well. Have you heard about tabla or something from India?
I have not. I have to look that up.
So there's a musical instrument called tabla, which we just, it's like a drum, but with small drums, and we have to play it in tandem.
That sounds wonderful. Very
Yeah.
nice.
So,
Yeah, I love that type of music.
Abby, do you have any video or maybe a music clip you can share with us that we could hear?
I do.
We can play it live for a minute and listen.
Yeah. You can see the share screen right on the bottom of your window. If you click on that share screen, you'll be able to, I mean, grab those music videos. But before that, you need to open that music on your laptop or mobile phone, and then you can share it.
Or we
If
could
you're,
tell us where it's at and we could try to
yeah,
share.
or if you can share the YouTube link, we can put it out.
Yeah, I can share the YouTube link. I'm on my phone, so I don't see that option.
Okay, that's fine.
But you can find me on youtube.com/Aviva Music, AVIVA Music.
Okay, let me find out.
Is there a particular one you like?
The EPK is probably the most telling of what I do. It should be like the main featured video on top.
Let's see.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
You got it live.
Aviva.
All right, let's play it. I want to hear this, and then I want to know what music you did for Henning.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Should I play the first one?
Yeah.
Oops. I touched a button. Oops, I'm sorry. That was beautiful. Oh my God, you are so talented. And I'm so glad I got to see you in person like this. I mean, this is amazing. Bravo. I need our applause button that we have, Nick has. We feel like a lot of the entertainers have not received enough applause this year. And it's
Before we proceed, can we have a virtual autograph of Aviva?
I have a what?
I said that before we proceed, can we have your virtual autograph?
Your virtual autograph, yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
We'll do a virtual autograph. That'd be pretty cool, Annie, if we can, get people to write on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Woo! We got her autograph. No, wow. So what kind of tour was that? That looked beautiful.
Thank you. That was actually like sort of a competition of sorts, like the best emerging artist. Like there was a concert series, so every Sunday of the summer, a new emerging artist would perform, and I actually won.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Yes. Awesome.
Yes,
wow.
That's a headline and like the kind of purple theme when that was like a headlining show from that.
Wow.
And yeah, it was a really awesome experience.
So for competitions like that, because I will go to competitions for some things. What kind of things do you win from that? Is it like a next stage celebrity status, more viewers? Do they help you out with your promoting you?
Well, obviously it's like a really great platform. There's several thousands of people there. So yeah. That's a huge incentivizer. And also for winning, I got to be in the newspaper and I got $1,000 Guitar Center gift card and the headlining show for the next year.
Wow, wonderful. So how many shows generally you do in over a period of 1 year? Because this year is difficult that no one is able to do live shows. But generally on a regular year, how many shows you do every year?
Like production wise?
Yeah.
I would say it really varies. Last year I did about 10 original songs. This year I've done about 2. One I've like been really pouring my heart and soul into. I feel like it's different, whenever I'm inspired for a certain thing, then that's when I make it. And I always want to make sure it's like as perfect as it can be,
Oh, that is
awesome. Those were all original songs also in that video. Yeah.
So what songs did you write and produce the songs for Henning's movies?
I did. I wrote and produced. Well, when I work with Henning, he gives me the lyrics, and then I kind of rearrange them a little bit to fit in the structure. But he mostly writes the words, and I do the music behind it and sing it. So I did Destinova, and I sang Hit or Twist, and we're working on a third.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's using one that I wrote called Enough, that we also even did a music video for, and that should be in the next one also.
Okay, so is that like one of his rock operas?
He wants to do a rock opera with me also. We haven't talked about that one yet.
Okay, so yeah, I like watching him on Wednesday nights. A lot of times we get to see a rock opera, and I think that's always a lot of fun to get to see all of these entertainers out there that are able to express themselves, get up there on stage, and come alive again. it's like you said, you were doing all of these things and then COVID hit. What are you doing during COVID to keep yourself motivated? Because that's been a big problem for a lot of people, is just staying motivated.
It was really hard for me in the beginning. Like, I was super sad about that show with Earth, Wind, and Fire. But right now, I've been live streaming on Twitch, which I really like. And that has like a lot of freedom where I can, brush up on my chops and, talk with people who are viewing, and, it's like a very nice, intimate platform. I like it a lot. So I've been doing that, and I've been making YouTube videos, other content, and just like really focusing on, stuff that I got behind on before, so now I'm getting caught up. So, I'm definitely trying to stay creative and not get, not waste this time, because it also is a beautiful time to have the time to do things you wouldn't otherwise.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that, because, all too often, before COVID, we said this when it first hit. You're driving to work and you go, I wish I could stay home another day or two just to get caught up with things. And so we've had 6 months or two, but yes, absolutely, get caught up with those things that we keep saying we're going to do. And I think it's beautiful that you were able to do that. One of the young artists that I had met in Nashville, Tennessee, when she was recording, she had came from South Africa. She was labeled in South Africa, like had her I guess you call record label in South Africa. And she was coming to the U.S. to make a name for herself, and coming to Nashville, Tennessee a good bit. And I met her there. She was in the same position as you. What do I do with all of this time? So she started a music TV show on Sunday nights here on IBM TV. It's called Alexandra May's Musical Cafe. And I thought, how brilliant was that? Because she said the same thing. She wanted something where she could keep her skills sharp, right? Mm-hmm. And still stay connected with people. And so she has people come in from all over the world to meet with her on her show and talk about music. What are you doing? But also the business aspects of music, right? What's important in the business aspects to sustain yourself and things like that. So I just, that
so
like
on this note, I think we should play Alexandra's intro.
We'll play her intro for you. Maybe you can pay her a visit.
Okay.
Oh, of course.
I ain't no typical girl. I ain't no typical girl. I ain't cheerleading while the boys they ball. I ain't no typical girl. I wanna be right there in the middle of it all.
So one of the things
So
I find
that's the song, Typical Girl.
Yeah, that's one of her songs that she's got out on iTunes now. But
Yeah.
I actually didn't hear it. Can you do it again? I didn't. I said.
Oh, you want to see it?
Okay.
Okay.
I did it too late. Right as it was over. I'm sorry.
Okay, we can play it again if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
She's really cute. Yeah, I think you.
Sorry.
Let's play it.
I ain't no typical girl. I ain't no typical girl. I ain't cheerleading while the boys they ball. I ain't no typical girl. I wanna be right there in the middle of it all.
Anyway, so
Thank you. That was great.
yeah, she said, you know what, I'm going to do a show and try to get as many people motivated. And she has had talent after talent, and not just talent. She's had production managers on her show from production houses. She's had an organization out of Nashville come on her show to talk about the business aspects, how to get yourself set up for business, how to meet the right people in music. So yeah, it's been a journey, but I love the fact that you got out there and you said, you know what, I'm going to keep my music going and keep it alive. You just didn't sit and wait. Henning!
Hey.
What do you say, people? How you doing? All these beautiful, pretty faces on Tuesday morning. This is amazing.
Oh wow! And we've had some beautiful music, and what a talented woman here.
Hey, we don't mess around.
I know you
Viva
don't.
is awesome.
Yeah.
And she plays the sax too, as well as the piano.
You know, we talk a lot about in our movies about musical genius phenoms, seeing as Sweet and Sour Studios, the shady record label of the Dirt Merchants fame, and she really is a genius phenom. So there's and they're very rare and hard to come by, and very humble and kind person too. So there you go.
Yeah, she's so humble. She is. She's so kind of, yes, you're right. But her music is fabulous. She gets out there. Her stage performance is beautiful. I watched her on YouTube. Just a basket full of talent there. I mean, and she told us about some of the music that she's been doing with you, and I think it's interesting how that comes about. So, yeah.
Well, the songs that we are creating for the Dirt Merchants film series is really, it's something special. It's something so special, and we have the theme song from Destinova, which I had this idea to do this, and again, I don't know where these things come from. Sometimes I do know because I'm watching like a really good movie or a really bad movie, a really good movie, and I'm saying, okay, what can I pull from this? And then there's really bad movies that you're watching, and I have to watch a lot of movies in my genre just because I want to see how the other people do it, even the bad ones. And there was a movie that was not such a great movie, but it was starring Scarlett Johansson. It's one of her earliest movies, and I'm a big Scarlett Johansson fan, so I watched this movie, and they did this dance sequence, which was totally came out of nowhere, and I thought it was really cool. And then there's another movie called Spike of Bensonhurst that I recommend if you want to have a laugh on a Saturday night. Watch that movie. It's a spoof mafia movie about a teenage boxer who falls in love with the mobster's daughter, and it's a whole comedy of errors. And the movie's a flat out comedy, but they did this really cool Italianesque choreographed dance number, which was just so cool. And I never forgot that. So when I talked to Viva about doing a similar type of a scene with the title song from Destinova, then we just basically just collaborated, and it was so cool. It came out magical, and we don't like to show that because that's kind of it's the end of the movie. It kind of gives away the whole everything is geared towards this final dance number, and she just knocked it out of the ballpark. The lyrics are so important for troubled teenagers, but the song is it's inspirational in the end. If you listen to the lyrics of some of the songs that I write, they kind of follow along with the movies. There's a big challenge that needs to be overcome in the lyrics, and then once it's overcome, it's celebration and joy, and it's over the top. And she did such a great job doing the actual production of the song, and then eventually performing it. It was something special, and I'll never forget that experience. And that song's going to be now that portion of the movie and that clip and that everything is now etched in Dirt Merchants lore, and it was a really fantastic experience. Miss Aviva, what did you feel about that experience? Now that you know my feeling on it, maybe you could share.
I thought it was a wonderful experience. I was super grateful that you trusted me with that responsibility. Yeah, it was really fun. It was an exciting challenge for me because previously I had done a lot of like I said, pop soul influence production type. So this was an 80s pop rock. I think your memo was mixed between Michael Jackson Thriller and David Bowie Fashion. And so I did a lot of research. I really broke those songs down and tried to did three different types of the instrumental first before I really felt like it got the appropriate vibe to stay true to the era. And yeah, I feel like it came out really fun, and it was a super exciting actual filming of it, and I love how it came out.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool. The fashion house. Again, some of you guys have not seen this at all. Some of you guys have seen it. When she goes Destinova, that's like fashion from David Bowie. That was really awesome. How that you brought that into this danceable. Just like you got to dance to this song. Beat that came out of it, and we mixed it. Kimberly and Anka, we mixed it with a dance number that was based on a Tahitian tribal dance, ritual dance, and we had a choreographer that came on and choreographed all of our audience to these tribal moves, and it was just something really special. And then she brought this old drums, this like tribal drum, and then Aviva started pounding on his drum, and then all of a sudden it was just like it just went, and it was cool. Yeah, Anka, you have a question?
So I think I'm just learning. Movie making and direction from you, because whenever we discuss on Tuesday, I learned something, and today I wanted to know about the process of making a music, because when you have a story, you brief the story to the musician, and then they come up with some songs. So I just wanted to understand the process. They will come up with some ideas, and then you figure it out, and then they work up some songs. So what is the process behind finalizing the final music and the journey of that music song as well?
Well, I think first of all, and Aviva can answer this a little bit, maybe elaborate on this. I think the first and foremost, what I do, my process is, because I'm dealing with professionals in the music business. This is they're so good at this. Some of these people have been studying their whole lives, and I'm not a musician, and I'm not a performer in any way in that sense. So I always will first get to know who the music artist is I'm going to be working with, and share my vision of what I see happening in the scene, because I write the lyrics and I write the scene for a certain purpose in the movie. Once I share my vision, then I want that music artist to come back and tell me how they think they should do it. And it's especially important when there's a performance involved, and then when there's a dance involved also. So when I met with Diane and talked to her about choreographing the scene, again, I explained what I was thinking, and she basically told me, okay, here's how we should do it. And then when I met Aviva for the first time, I was obviously like, we got along because of her mentorship, her passion for mentorship, and her passion for spreading positivity and being a positive influence. And we hit it off immediately. So I knew that she would be like into the message of the movies. But then once I described kind of how the song went, as she said, she went back and then she brought all her musical expertise to the table, and then came back with the song. And then once we do that, then it's a question of, okay, let's all get together and collaborate how we're going to do this scene so that it makes sense in the movie. And then I will have to also, in the meantime, I'm talking to the actors, and then you got probably 10 principal actors. We have actors in this musical sequence from 4 different movies, and I even movies that we haven't made yet. I said, come on in and please be in this scene, because it's going to be important for later on. And some of them don't dance; they don't know how to dance at all. So I'm not going to mention any names. Then they got to go take. Okay, which of you actors don't know how to dance? You got to take some dance lessons. Go take lessons, and then come back. So you have all these things to coordinate, and then in the end, you take the person that doesn't know how to dance and you show them the least. I'm just kidding. No, you don't do that. That's not a good plan. So, Aviva, what's your take on that process? Again, the question was, I basically shared how my process. Tell me about your process in collaborating and preparing for these things.
Well, my process. Well, I definitely had a good advantage because Henning had written the lyrics already, and he's the author of the movie and the book. So didn't have to worry about not having that fit. And for me, I always feel like music is a staple of time. You know, like you hear a song and be like, oh, that's like 2001. I remember what you would wear in that time, you know? So I feel like for this particular period piece, it was, you know, set in the 80s. And I feel like there's just a certain essence that all 80s songs have that makes you feel a certain type of way. And writing it in 2020 or 2019 or whatever it was, you know, that can be, you know, I kind of had to rack my brain a little bit to really make it feel authentic. And like I said, I did 3 versions of it before I felt like, because at first it came out kind of 70s and I was like, that's not right. And then I was like, it needs to be like mid 80s.
Right.
And like, yeah, so I did a bunch of different versions of it until it felt good to me. And then I sent it to Henning and just fingers crossed that he liked it.
Yeah, and again, that's the part where once you're finished, hey Humira, once you finish with the project, and once you are happy with it, you just need to trust, right, yeah. Aviva? You just need to trust that, hey, I trust in what I did. I trust in how I felt the vision come out, and then you basically just put it out there. And that's the hardest part, in my opinion, is when you just have to just let it go. Like, okay, this is the version I'm going to share. And it's still not finished necessarily because you're open for notes and open for adjustments. But that's a really important place to get to. And it's as Aviva said, you know, you just have the confidence and hope that, you know, that you trusted your instincts and it came out. And it comes out the right way, and it came out so perfectly. And I want to talk more about Aviva's acting in a second here, but just to kind of finish up on this one song, and then talk about the other song, which the other collaboration that we did. We actually, it's 3 collaborations, but the second song is for Hit or Twist, which I want to talk about here in a second. And I actually can show a clip from that. So we're going to show you guys a clip from Hit or Twist. This is going to be really cool that we can show you. So. Here's how I see it. You know, you have to be open for suggestion, open for collaboration, and also you have to be open to make a change in something that you believe is important based on your level of expertise, and say, hey, I'm going to make an executive decision here. And when it came time to adjusting some of the lyrics, which Aviva did, those are the things that, again, you have to have the confidence that, hey, I really feel this is important. And it was so important that she did that, because that, to me, is my favorite part of the song, are the lyrics that she actually changed. And I tell my actors, man, read the words, act out the script as it is. Well, if you want to talk about any type of improv or any type of changing, we do that prior. We don't do it when we get to set. And that's where, you know, she did it on the first version, probably thinking, hey, if it has to go back to the way it was, then we can make it, we can switch it back. And I think it's so important to have that confidence to make those changes. Aviva, what do you think about that?
I'd forgotten that I did that. Well,
yep.
The reason why I did that was just because, like, the singability of it, like, I try to keep the message the same and just, you know.
No, you did. It was fantastic. Yeah, it was fantastic. And Drew does that. And it's interesting. Drew does that. A lot of y'all know that, you know, Drew Lane is our music producer our music director for our movies. And I think we've done 11 or 12 songs together now. And the only one that he always changes something. It's interesting because I write the lyrics, but I'm not writing the lyrics based on any type of music. I'm just writing the lyrics based on how I feel the song's going to go and the feeling of the scene. So it's up to the musician to say, no. Let's move this over here, move this that way. This is how it all should go. Here's the bridge. Here's the melody. Whatever they are, I don't know what the terms are. Whatever the terms are, the chorus, the melody, the bridge, all those things, right? And that's where the the genius comes through. I believe I firmly believe that. And it's interesting. The only song in which the lyrics didn't change at all was the theme song for Ann Hero, which is the movie that we're just now finishing up. That's based on that has the teen suicide subject matter. And I think that he didn't change anything in those lyrics. I just think he just thought it was too important to say it the way it was meant, the way it was written, because of the subject matter. And it's the only song out of all the collaborations that we've done that where the lyrics or something, the lyrics didn't change at all. And I think that is saying something as well. So do you have, Anka, do you have another question for Aviva? Because I'm going to pull up a clip here, or Kimberly.
I think
Humaira wants to know.
She does so much. Is it hard to shift from singing and acting, or is there a similarity to it? From Grant Edmond.
Is this for me?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it is for you.
Oh, sorry.
And Grant is from South Africa, and he's one of our producers from South Africa. He does a lot of music shows with us on IBM TV.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I definitely feel like when I'm singing, for me, when I'm listening to a song, I love soul music so much because I feel like it puts you in a place, like if the emotion behind it puts it in a place. So I feel like it's not that far off from acting, and I can sing a song like my mom always makes fun of me because my favorite song ever is I'd Rather Go Blind, which and actually I really like My Vision, but I love that song because of the passion behind it.
Soul music. I love it. Oh my gosh. She's a soul music person. This is great.
Yeah, so I feel like acting and performing a song is kind of similar.
Okay, that's good. That's a good answer. Amira, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was going to say, when Aviva was speaking about how 80s music reminds her of different memories, I heard somewhere that listening to old music is it's like reconnecting with an old friend. And I always thought music unites us literally, M-U-S-I-T. It really does unite us.
I totally agree with that.
I do agree too. I think it's definitely the soul food for the heart. Music is soul food for the heart. It heals. So I heard somebody say, you can get people who are not happy with each other and you're all listening to the same music and y'all get that same beat going. Everybody carries that same beat. They carry that same wave. Henning, do you have the video for us?
I think you need to unmute yourself.
I'm muted. Yeah, I do have it. Lined up here. So I will go ahead and attempt to share this scene here now. And this is a scene from the yet to be released Hit or Twist. Okay.
Okay.
And this is a scene where it's the first ever performance of this phenom, amazing breakthrough band, rock and roll band in the 80s called the Hit or Twists. Okay. And it's their first performance ever. And you wouldn't know this, but Miss Aviva is not happy having to be on these drums. She's not happy. And it's a theme. It's a recurring theme. And there's a reason why she's back on the drums, which we're not going to share. But you wouldn't know it by how awesome this all came out. And you will see a cameo from Andrew Lane, our music director, as he announces the band. So I'm going to do the attempt here. Hold on here. Let's see. Share screen. Let's do this now. Okay. Share screen. And then I'm going to share audio. And I'm going to share the entire screen, right?
No. Go to application window.
Application window. Okay, got it. All right, here we go. And now I'm going to go into Vimeo where this resides. Where is the Vimeo link where it resides?
If the video is not there, then you have to open the video first and then go to application.
Yeah, let me do that. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so Aviva, tell everyone about how awesome Hit or Twist was. Now that we talked about Destinova.
was amazing. I just saw the little premiere, and I was super impressed with how it all came out. And it was really fun, like a really fun production also. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing how you're amongst all that filming and all the equipment going on and all of the scenes and movements, and somehow or another they capture exactly what you see on the screen, and you go, wow, I remember so much more going on. How did he microscope this down? I think it's beautiful how they do that.
Me too.
Because there's a lot that goes on the set, isn't there, Aviva?
Yeah, you're asking me, you're asking Aviva.
Aviva.
Both. Henning's trying to get a video up.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna mute out for 1 second. I'm almost ready for you. Go ahead.
All right. There's definitely a lot that goes on the set. I think it's beautiful how they managed to capture just exactly what they want, and there's so much going on. How did you feel about that, Aviva?
I mean, even from it was funny because when I watched the premiere, I was like, I feel like I remember like all these extra scenes and stuff, like just based off of what I heard about the plot of it, and then apparently there's gonna be a part 2. You know.
There you go.
But no, it's always, that's my favorite part about creating anything, because I feel like, or even in music, like you look at a track and you have a million different tracks and it's like chaos for a good amount of time until it all comes in one cohesive file and it's all harmonious, and that's how I feel about this movie too. It's like,
I appreciate that. You're so kind. And yeah, there is a whole nother movie missing. Is what happened. And I think I shared this with you guys a couple of weeks ago. We made this movie, and we were going through the edit and putting everything together. And as we went along, we realized that that there's 100 scenes in this movie, and we're only done editing 10 scenes, and it's already an hour long. So how are we going to make this a 2-hour movie? So we realized it's got to be 2 movies. So there is a whole nother movie coming. So here it is. I got it all lined up here for you. And I'm going to get out of here, cancel this, and I'm going to share again. This is going to be my last attempt, and the last will be my best. And here we go. Why does it not?
See, Henning, if you don't have the video open on your screen, you won't get it on share screen as well. So
I've got it on my screen. I don't understand. Okay, let me try it one more time. Hold on. I know I can do it. I have confidence. All right. It's on my screen now. It's on my screen. And there it is.
Share.
So I'm going to share.
I can see it's coming up soon.
It's coming up? Okay, hold on. Here we go. So now I'm going to cancel here, share screen. Okay, and share audio and application window. Okay, and
Humira is unmuted.
Oh.
You need to unmute.
There we go. I thought the video was going to start, so I kind of muted everybody so we could have the video. I think.
Yeah.
I like it.
Huh?
Okay, I'm going to send you the link, Ankit. You're going to do it.
Can you hear me?
Share the link.
Okay, because what's happening is just so you know for future, I'm going in to try to find it, and it's not. I've got it open on my computer, and it's not showing me the application. So you know what? I'm going to try one more thing here. Hold on, guys. And here we go. Entire screen. Share. Let's try it this way. Okay, now you.
Yeah,
now you guys got my screen. Now you guys got my screen. You see it now?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Okay. So here we go. This is Hit or Twist by the Hit or Twists.
Ladies and gentlemen, performing for the first time, let's give it up for Hit or Twist!
All right. Wow. That's awesome. The beat was so there. It was so 80s to me. It was you nailed it.
All right. So there you go. She was not happy to be on those drums, but she was on those drums anyway. She was smiling the whole time.
Was that really her beating on the drums?
Well, yes and no. She was. We did the performance to a track, and the track was being played, so you didn't hear the actual song being performed. But because she's a professional drummer, Aviva was able to play it as if she were playing it, and that's why it looks so natural. And interestingly enough, that was a song that I wrote the lyrics to that song, and Drew wrote the song, and Aviva graciously jumped in and sang it, and performed it. So it just was so magical. And there are 3 instances of her performing this song in the movie, and so we used all 3, and all 3 are great. So it's kind of a Aviva. What do you think of the process?
Yeah, I think it came out awesome. Yeah, it looks beautiful. It sounds good, and yeah, it was really fun. It was really good. It was really cool getting to record and do a studio, Hannah Montana records and stuff. Yeah, it was fun.
Oh wow!
So I want to do a shout out for Andrew Lane, of course, and Aviva, and also SIR Studios in Los Angeles, where we filmed that. My very good friends there. That is the most iconic music rehearsal hall in all of Los Angeles, and maybe even in the United States. They are a legendary place. You could feel the vibe, and we did a scene also prior to the song out in the lobby of SIR Studios. Every band in the world knows SIR as the place to rehearse when you're in LA. And then last but not least, Jacob for the Stars Fashion House, providing all of those amazing costumes. Oh my goodness! And he outfits all of the you name the celeb, and he outfits them. My good friend Jacob, and so I've got a very interesting story about Jacob I'm going to share with you guys next time. But I have got to go, and our hour is up. If there's any last minute question or comment or anything that you guys have for me or for Aviva.
Well, hit her twist. When is that going to be airing? And can we see? Are you going to be sharing some of this Wednesday night?
Okay, yeah, Wednesday we have, thank you for asking, Kimberly. Wednesday night, we have Wednesday night at the movies. We've been doing it every week for 26 weeks now. It's unbelievable. It's a 2-hour show that we put together, kind of a variety show that involves movie clips from our films. It involves motivational speaking, mentorship moments, strategy, and there it is. There's the link, rsfmovienight.com. That's where you register for it. And we will be showing a sneak peek at our new movie, And Hero. We may be showing something from Hit or Twist. In fact, if that's a request, we'll show something from Hit or Twist, a little small nugget. And it's a place where we can showcase what we do, showcase our platform, which is RevShare Films, which is a platform for inspirational, motivational, transformational films, motivational speakers, music. And it also gives us an opportunity to celebrate. We broadcast live from our post-production facility in Beverly Hills. So it's a really cool show. And I know that we've got people all over the world, and there's different time zones. We do record it. If you missed it, you can get the recording. But join us on Wednesday, and it's at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 6 o'clock Pacific time. And we go for 2 hours, and it's something special. This week's theme is women empowerment. Women empowerment, and women are on the move. And when the email went out, as you all know, if you know Dirt Merchants movies, every Dirt Merchants movie has a strong and important female character. Every one without exception, but they're very feminine at the same time. They're strong, they're powerful, they're important, and they're very feminine. It's a cool way to bring it across. And this week, that's our theme. So we're going to be showcasing some of our actresses. And Aviva, you should come on and say a few words. I know we featured you. We're going to be featuring you when we get more into Hit or Twist. But as it comes up, and lastly, the release of Hit or Twist this is something that we have 3 movies, Kimberly, that are out that I encourage you all to watch. Please watch these movies and comment and share if you love it. If you don't love it, you don't have to say anything. Just don't talk to me. But if you love them. If love is in the air, then share it and comment, and let's really spread the word on these movies, and let's all, we share the revenue. So whatever monies are generated, we share. So it's a positive all the way around.
Share.
But Henning, I think what we can do, we can do a special show about Doug Merchant music, basically on IBM TV sometime, and we'll
do it. You name the time and we'll do it, and I'll bring some more of my music. I got so many great. I'm so blessed. I'm telling you, it's abundance everywhere. So many great people, and right now we need to push these music artists out there more than ever because they're not performing. Most of these music artists, they make their bread and butter. They make their good money performing, and because of the great insanity of 2020, the horror show of 2020, we've been not been able to showcase our music artists, and so I would love to do that. You name it, and let's do it. But to finish answering the question, Rebelistic, Romancer, and Destinova are up on RevShare Films. Aviva is a major part of Destinova and a major part of making that movie awesome. So please go check out Destinova. Watch it with your teenage kids. It's something that the family can watch together. It's really, really cool, like teen family oriented movie, or just watch it because you want to, be entertained as a non-teen or what have you. And then Hit or Twist and Hero and Street Chase are 3 movies that we're preparing for the American film market coming up in November to sell distribution rights worldwide. So if you guys have contacts in that world, big shots at studios that want to know more about those 3 movies, let us know. We're going to be taking offers, and that's going to be in November. And those 3 movies should be out in 2021 in some way, shape, or form. Hit or Twist 1, Hit or Twist 2, which is called Diabolic, and Hero, and also Street Chase. So actually 4 movies that are coming up that we're preparing for American film.
Four. While
One more.
everybody's shut down in COVID, Henning's out there producing movies. He's ready for the theaters to open up. Henning, it's amazing that you're doing this women empowerment. We are actually hosting an event for the most distinguished women in the world this month. We've been asked to host that, so maybe we can collaborate some of our powerful women.
Yeah, bring Aviva onto that one, and bring her on for sure. Make sure she check with her schedule, her manager, and everything. But also, let's. I got a few more good ones for you. So just let me know, and we'll bring us along. Aviva, any last minute comments, concerns, issues, anything else you want to share before we go?
No concerns. This has been a wonderful morning to meet all of you guys, and it's been a really nice time. I hope to see you all again soon.
I liked your saxophone.
She plays.
Wow. See, I love house music. Like a lot of my friends are DJs, and most of my friends I met them at music events. So music really does unite us literally and I guess really.
I
All right, guys.
agree with that.
I'm going to jump. Thank you again. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Tomorrow night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone. We'll be in touch and we'll invite you on IBM TV whenever you are available. Thank you.
Wow, was
And,
that amazing or what? I mean, and she
amazing.
plays that sax.
Wow.
She rocks it. Like she is.
They're both so talented. He writes songs, he directs. That's like amazing.
He writes.
And I think we should welcome to our guest, Gwyn Hart, today on Celeb TV. How are you doing?
Hello.
So this is his book.
That's his book.
How are you doing?
Oh, wow.
Good. I'm good.
His book.
And Gwyn, we say namaste to everyone around the world now during COVID.
Namaste. That way we kind of don't mess up saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Yeah.
Right.
Namaste. Get it all done in one. Because I was kind of messing it up, going, "Oh hi, and good morning," and he goes, "Oh, it's evening here." Oh yeah. So we just say namaste.
And you're also saying the divinity in me recognizes the divinity in you.
I like
That's
that.
what namaste means, yeah.
Yeah, divinity of me, many blessings. It's we got so much that we're trying to unite, right? And
Yeah,
finding
I know that symbol. That's a unite symbol.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm learning something new.
we do a sign language on IBM TV, and the sign language is, unite,
Okay.
globally connected
This
together,
is this is one world.
one
This is
world,
love.
love.
Okay.
This is live and let live. This is your spiritual power.
Wow.
Yeah, you
All
got
right.
to keep
This
it
is your
going.
We're
bird.
not going here.
This is your bird.
This is fly away.
This is peace.
Yeah, this is easy, right?
The thumbs up.
So Ann Kid always goes, live and let live. And I go, this is us in America. But live and let live.
And this is have a little wine.
That's right. Happy, have a little wine. Happy hour. Happy hour on Friday night. That's what we're here to talk about now.
Yes.
I'm having some weird speaking sound. I'm going to beam out and I'll be back in. I'll be listening, but I'm going to see what's wrong with my sound.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
wonderful.
Thank you.
So when we have Humaira with us, and I think we were trying to do something about how Hollywood meets Bollywood, because you both understand the Bollywood movies and you, I think, follow a lot of Bollywood things. So I thought that would be a great conversation to have it.
Nice to meet you. Very nice.
Hi,
to
nice
meet you.
meeting you, Gwen.
Yes, I lived in India for just under 2 years when I worked in Asia.
Oh, wow.
So,
Where in India?
Yes, I lived in Pondicherry, between Pondicherry, Chennai, and Bangalore, or Bengaluru.
I was born in Hyderabad.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Look at that, right?
Yeah, it's right above all that.
So
Yeah.
it was a great experience. And the one thing I would always kind of, when I cut back to the States, I'd say, the movies in India are just so emotional. There's a lot of, energy and emotion. But even in the gangster movies, they sing.
Well, some art movies they don't sing, but most commercial movies they sing. And for them, like in India, going to a movie is like a huge event. Like when people are going to go to the movie, they're like, "Oh my God, let's go see this new picture came out." And it's like a mini vacation almost. You get your family together and you go buy tickets in advance for any new movie. You stand in line. I mean, it's like a huge deal.
It is a huge deal. My favorite restaurant in Bangalore was Julissa. I think it's Julissa. Julissa. And at that restaurant, they showed all of the old black and white, the film noir movies.
Okay.
And, like Raj Kapoor, Nargis. Yeah.
I mean, just like it's just amazing to see the transformation from back in the the 40s and 50s, and then some of the modern stuff. So that was my favorite restaurant, just because I like film noir. I mean, no matter where it's made, that's just that's my thing. I had a great time there. I worked a lot. I mean, didn't do a lot of playing, but we did see a lot of movies and things like that, and the people were just wonderful. I just had a great time.
A little bit of my background.
Yes, Umaira.
Oh, I was just going to say, my dad wanted to be a Bollywood star. Like, he was in the drama club in his college, and he was like the most famous person at Aligarh, which is like this big university in India. And he acted with like Nasruddin Shah, and like his best friend was there was like these writers of Sholay, which is a really famous movie, Salim Javed. So Javed Akhtar's younger brother, is one of my dad's best friends.
Wow.
So they all went to college together, and my dad wanted to be an actor. Like, he was so good. But then his father, who, like I said on previous shows, but his father was a freedom fighter with Gandhi, and he passed all of a sudden from a heart attack. So my dad was in school when that happened, in college. So he decided to take the more stable route and become a doctor. But he still like always just loved movies. And so growing up, we had like back in my day, they had all the VHS, cassettes. We watched all these movies. We would like get a shipment every week of 2 VHS movies from an Indian store. Because I grew up in West Virginia, so there was no Indian like. I grew up in West Virginia, but the thing is, my dad. Every time we went to India, like one of our really good friends in West Virginia, in our hometown, she's from the royal family of Gujarat, and her like half of her family were film people in Bombay. So she was like friends. She was like cousins with Amir Khan, and all these people are super. So we actually had dinner with Amir Khan's parents, and we went to shooting, and we go to Bombay and go to all these film shoots. I met like so many actors, like Jackie Shroff and Ajay Devgan, Urmila Mathoke. I mean, and then my dad. And then in America, whenever there was any show, like any Bollywood show, they came to big cities here and perform. My dad would get like the best tickets. So we sit in the front row. They'd be like literally like right in front of us. And we also had dinner with the stars afterwards. So we would have dinner with them. And I met like so many. When I was having dinner with Amir Khan's parents, Madhuri Dixit, who's another famous actress, at that time, this was when Dil came out, which was like a huge movie. So we were having dinner with Amir Khan's parents when Dil came out. And we were at the Holiday Inn in Bombay, and we were eating this Chinese restaurant. So all of a sudden, in comes Madhuri Dixit. And she's wearing like a, I recognized her because, she had no makeup on, but I said, "Oh my God, that's Madhuri Dixit." And then Amir Khan's father gets up, he goes to her table and he says, "Acha, Madhuri beti yahan par," which means Madhuri's sitting here. So she got up and came to our table, and she was like talking. She thought I was Amir Khan's sister. But I have so many stories with stars, like so many.
Wow.
But,
I have the only thing I can say is I went to the theater and watched it in the restaurant. Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That's amazing.
Wow. So I think, Umaira, whenever we have a concert in US next time, we have to contact you for the tickets.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last show we went to actually, because I can't even remember. I remember I went to one show when my son was, I have a 17-year-old son, and when my son was like maybe 2 or 3, we went to a show in Washington, D.C. with Salman Khan, Kareena Kapoor, John Abraham. It was, what's that? I can't, but there was like a lot of famous people. So we had like afterwards we met the stars before the show. So I remember like Salman Khan. I mean, he was always my favorite actor from his very first movie. Well, not Bibi Ho Jo Aisa was his first movie. That wasn't very famous, but Maine Pyar Kiya was like a huge, like one of the biggest hits in India cinema. And since then, he's always been my favorite actor. And when I saw him in real life, I mean, he's shorter, but he was so built, and his eyes are like huge, like they're like. But I remember I was there and I had like these leather-looking pants on, and Kareena Kapoor was like checking out my outfit. Yeah, I have so many stories, but anyway.
Wow. Boy, we could just sit down and just have some tea and let you tell.
I was on the same plane as Aishwarya Rai. I was on the same plane with her. I met her at the baggage claim. I've seen I was at the airport with Sridevi. I mean, there's so many stories. We could do a show on just my stories.
I was going to say, stories. This is the tea. I mean, really.
But like my parents have I live with my parents. They help me raise my son. So they have the whole satellite, like about 10 or 12 Indian channels.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. And so they watch the news and everything, but there's a news channel called Hotstar. And they watch that like every day. Like every day it's like they have these soap operas. Like every day they have a new episode. So yeah.
Very nice.
That's wonderful. That's interesting, and I think we should do a special Bollywood hour over tea with Humaira.
Yeah, I mean, really, that would be a great show.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many. Even from when I was younger, like my sister, I have an older sister, and she was at the airport, I think in Hyderabad, and Amitabh Bachchan was at the airport. And my sister, as a little kid, went and wrapped her arms around Amitabh Bachchan's legs, and she thought he was my uncle. So, I mean, there's like all these. Oh, and then my mom, like my grandfather's friend, was friends with a politician at MLA in Delhi. So we went and stayed at his house. And this is when Amitabh Bachchan was in it was in politics. So we got to go to, I don't know what they call the building in Delhi, it's the parliament, I'm not sure. But we got to sit in, Rajiv Gandhi was the prime minister then. So I got to sit in and see the whole session. So that was really cool. Yeah.
Wow. Right. We have nothing compared to you. I mean, wow. That's all.
Well, I mean, it's my dad. Like, I mean, even now we call my cousin in India, and first they'll be like, "Hey, how are you?" This and that. But then the next thing is, "What's the new movie that's come out? Is it a hit? Is it?" But see, in Charlotte, North Carolina, I go there a lot. They have actually movie theaters now a lot in America that show regularly Indian movies like every day. So there's a theater like that in Charlotte. So every Friday, like a new movie comes out. So my parents would go see all the newest Indian ones. Of course, because of the pandemic, they haven't had.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go back to drive-in movie theaters where you stay in your car and watch.
They're having drive-in concerts now.
Yeah.
Like they're actually having they're having musicians perform, and you're sitting in your car.
Our new normal. This is gonna be our new normal when it comes to entertainment. Absolutely.
You got to still live. I mean, you know what I mean.
That or somebody's gonna have to come up with a very nice hologram, so it looks like they're sitting in your living room.
The last show I was on, we were speaking with this lady. I can't remember. I think it was Sophie was her name, from Miami, and she was into AI, and she was talking about the next thing to come out is that there will be holograms, just like in Star Wars, where you'll have like the actual person will be like right there
in the room with you. Now that's the way to.
It's coming out soon.
Yeah.
According to her,
It probably
that will be amazing.
In fact, China, they are working on an artificial moon so that the artificial moon will be live in evenings and you don't have to use your light. The moon will give you the light.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so
I mean, it's crazy how much technology has advanced. That humans are capable of so much to actually build something that's like, what?
In fact, I tell you something. I mean, there's a movie coming up called Brahmastra. I mean, that movie
with Alia Bhatt and Ranbir Kapoor.
Yeah.
Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah, you know everything. So the first cut of that movie happened to be in the sky. So they created Brahmastra name, alphabetic in the sky with the use of some rockets or something. And then that's how they released that the movie is coming up. So they're using a lot of technologies nowadays, I mean, to make sure that things will be working, and it's more about engagement and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is. It's getting.
But that movie Brahmastra it's all about like some supernatural something, right? Like the story.
Yeah, something of that sort. Yeah.
I mean,
the story
Ranbir
is not
Kapoor
out, but
hasn't
it's
come out in a movie since Sanjay, right? Sanju, that was the last movie. Ranbir Kapoor.
There was one. No, there was one more movie after Sanju. I think I don't remember,
I
but
don't know.
couple of the last one which was big hit was Sanju.
Sanju, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check out. The fire marshal is here at my warehouse. I think they need to check something.
Sure.
I know. Yeah, they just do a drop in. Oh my God, I've got boxes piled up. All right, I've got to go let the fire marshal in. So I'm gonna have to drop off. It's so nice. I'm gonna have to join next. Do you guys do this every week?
Yeah, we do this every week. Yeah, but we need to talk about your show as well. So we need to talk about your show, the wine show, which we wanted to start from this Friday. So yeah.
Okay. I've got my my tech guy, Steven Sykes. I was going to connect the two of you on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah. And that way he can tell you what he's doing. But he knows StreamYard. He knows, he has that software too. So he said he does have that. He'll talk to you about how to do it.
Sure. Wonderful.
Okay. All right, I've got to run.
Okay. Nice meeting you, Ken.
It was lovely meeting you. I can't wait to do this next week and chat a bit more.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Hi, Ankit.
So I invited her to have a discussion about how Hollywood meets Hollywood. Nick joining us. Yeah.
How are you?
Nick, unmute. Nick, you need to unmute.
I had to hit the button. There we go. It was one of those things. I was just listening to all the yapper backstage with the apparently Humira is into her movie people. So.
It was through my dad. Because of my dad,
Really?
I kind of I'll go downstairs and they're always watching something like.
Right.
So I just kind of listen.
Well, I mean, I see a lot of stars. I mean, almost every day I go outside and I see a lot of stars, usually in the evenings. But
I was actually in your state over the weekend. My birthday was last week, and I had a big celebration in Charlotte.
Right. Yeah. Right. Oh. Charlotte, which is still many hours away from where I live in Raleigh, Durham.
Right. 2 hours.
That's about 3 hours to Charlotte.
Is it 3 hours?
That's about 3 hours to Charlotte. Probably where you're at, it's probably about.
Norman. Yeah, I don't know. I think
about
it's
3 hours to Raleigh, Durham. You're not that far from Raleigh, Durham.
No, I mean I went there with my son to tour UNC Chapel Hill. So I went near you in Chapel Hill. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm in the Research Triangle Park area, so I do know the area quite well. I do not know celebrities quite well at all. So when you're putting all those
names,
a
celebrity, Ankit.
Well, Ankit probably knows the names you were dropping. I can tell you this: any red-blooded American, they don't have a clue. All those names you're dropping. Ankit, you knew who they were, right?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Any person would know.
I'm just saying, the thing is, she's going, this guy con, that guy con, blah, blah, blah.
And Nick, moreover, I'll tell you something. I mean, interesting part is that they all worth more than $500 million.
I know, but it doesn't matter. We don't even know who they are here. See, this is one of the big bridges that we need to build between India and the United States. Is we could do a whole show on Bollywood if we get the Bollywood people to show up and the Americans to actually watch them, because the Bollywood movies, unless you go into certain areas, you just don't get anything. I mean, right now on all the services I get, I can't tell you where. Maybe I'll have to go do a deep dive to find anything from Bollywood. It's just not that easy. Yet over there,
that's why we are working on a show with Humira called Bollywood Tea with Humira.
Oh, really? Okay, right. Yeah.
Where's the I think Slumdog Millionaire kind of brought India into the spotlight.
Yeah, you're right.
Now Priyanka Chopra, everybody knows her, and so she's like a huge Bollywood star. Now she's up in Hollywood too, so that's also brought more awareness about Bollywood. So.
Right. Yeah. Actually, Slumdog.
I think it's also because of Priyanka Chopra, Deepika Padukone, and Anil Kapoor, because they are starring a lot of movies in India. In Bollywood. So as Anupam Kher and Nasruddin Shah. So they do a lot of movies in India. In fact, one of our stars.
Wasn't there the actor who passed away recently? He also Irfan Khan.
Irfan Khan.
He just passed away. Millionaire. He was the officer who questioned the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. That was Anil Kapoor. The question.
No. Irfan Khan was in Slumdog Millionaire too. He was the police officer.
Right.
I know.
He was interrogating. Yeah.
Yep.
And they won an Academy Award for their show. So the thing is, that one actually hit the radar scope. But ever since then, there were very, very few that hit the radar scope here in the United States. So it's almost like there's a big divide between the movies that are produced in Bollywood and that are actually shown here on the screens. But right now, nothing's shown on the screen, so it doesn't matter.
The movie from India was with Patrick Swayze. I think The City of the Sun or something of that sort. It was such a beautifully told story of how hard it was back in, I think it was the 80s when Patrick Swayze was really popular. And that was just one of my, it was just so beautiful. The colors, the city itself, but how poor it was, but how happy they were. But the trials, the challenges, but intensely how happy they were as a family and how they united as a family. Hamera, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Also,
happy birthday.
Thank you.
Charlotte is not that far from here. My sister is there. I went to high school there. Lake Norman is probably a little bit farther drive from where we are, Nick. I was listening while I was trying to fix my computer. My computer was just having a time. But so I was listening, but happy, Lake Norman is beautiful.
That's my family's condos on Lake Norman in Cornelia. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's beautiful. In the summertime, it just comes alive, that area. There's a boardwalk in front of my condo that goes to the most happening restaurant on the lake. So it's really nice. It's a change of atmosphere from West Virginia.
It's different. And that they have some interesting large boats, almost yacht size.
Oh, yeah.
And they host a lot of wine venues out there from the vineyards in North Carolina. They'll host these huge, I've never been on one, but I've heard a lot about them. And you've also got a really cool, in your area, really cool vineyard called Treehouse.
Okay, I don't know where that is.
And you can actually go and stay the night in the tree houses. And everything. So Charlotte's got the racetracks, right? They're really popular.
Yeah, that's kind of in Concord. That's in Concord, North Carolina. That's near Cornelius. And Asheville is just 2 hours away. Asheville's a really cool little hippie town. Yeah. And
then there's a small town, McAdamville, at Christmas time. The McAdamville light.
Okay, I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of that. My friends went to that the light show, but I haven't.
But I highly recommend it. It's a country thing, right? But you drive. It's a long drive through the town. The whole town is lit up. Every house, the power company pays for it. But anyway, the power company pays for every house to light up. And
I didn't know that.
And it's a festival. It's a city of festival. You can get hot chocolate, hang out. And, it's really, really beautiful. But
what's the name of the city?
McAdamville.
McAdamville. 5-star hotels?
Cabins. Airbnb, the cabins. They're beautiful. The cabins are beautiful.
5-star hotels. A 3-star restaurant.
Nick, have you been to the Greenbrier in West Virginia?
I'm familiar with the Greenbrier. I've never been.
Yeah, that's an amazing hotel.
That's on the list.
The governor of West Virginia owns that hotel. He also owns the resort I live in. So there's when they have the PGA, the stars like Aerosmith and Keith Urban and Black Eyed Peas stayed at my resort, the hotel just 2 minutes from where I live. I could walk up the street. Yeah.
Okay. So
we have to visit Humera's house to make sure that we covered all the places.
I met Tiger Woods at the Greenbrier during the PGA.
I want to go to the palaces in India, so I'm already.
We can go there too. We can go a lot of places.
Travel the world.
Yeah. In Hyderabad, where Humera is from, I mean, they have a beautiful palace. So, I forgot the name of that hotel. Remember that hotel with the
Golconda or something? Golconda Palace or something like that. I'm not sure.
Not Golconda. I mean, amazing property.
Krishna Roy? Is it the Krishna Roy?
The internet knows all.
Salman Khan had his sister's wedding at that palace in Hyderabad. Yeah.
That one.
I don't know the name though.
Happy birthday.
Aw, thank you.
From IBM TV. Happy birthday.
Yay.
It's amazing it's amazing when we discover technology.
Yeah. So Nick has been playing with his clappers that he's got found, so he can make clapping sounds when people come on. I don't know if anyone got to watch his show last night. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. To talk about the new coming up justice selection for our Supreme Court. And it's called The Lawyer's Den. And just listening to these guys with all of this experience, some of the things I didn't really know that just kind of mind-boggling about what goes involved, what's involved, how prejudiced it can be. I mean, unless you go to the Ivy League, graduating from the Ivy League does not make you a great justice. And so I'm glad to see that they selected someone who didn't graduate from the Ivy League. But,
That's true. Actually, the thing is, unless you graduate from the Ivies or Stanford, you are not sitting on the Supreme Court for the last 2 decades. Or 3 decades, even maybe even 4. So this will be the first selection that I'm aware of that actually did not come from the elitist Ivy or Stanford, which is kind of unusual. She came from Notre Dame. Just for edification, that's how the selection goes. I did seem to find quite a few hotels that are 5-star. It may be the Taj Mahal Nuna Palace in Hyderabad.
That's probably it. That's probably it.
Okay, because the thing is, there's also the Westin Hyderabad, and actually my wife's family founded the Westin Hotels years ago.
Wow.
Okay, it was actually, and you have to Google it. The name of the person is actually called Frank Dupar out of Yakima, Washington, and you'll see the whole history of the Westin Hotels. You got to look at the history of it, and then you'll see the Dupars, which were the founders of it, in a weird place, Yakima, which is really east of the mountains, kind of a thing. So sometimes when I go, I stay at the Westins just because, okay, well, they founded the Westin for what it was worth.
In many ways, this is the travel show today.
But yeah, I mean, my yeah. See, I would prefer to stay in a palace though. So the palaces will do. I'm okay with the palaces. This looks pretty nice. Is this the Taj Mahal Numa Palace? Okay, well this will do. This will do. Yeah, this looks pretty good. This looks like a nice place to have an IBM TV meeting.
This is the modern palace as compared to the palace which we have seen earlier. This is the modern palace.
Oh, really? Okay, right. Well, I don't mind having multiple palaces. Do you, Anket?
Everybody, I have to go because my son broke his collarbone, so I have to go pick him up from school. So, thank you. We'll keep in touch about the Bollywood show. And also, Nick, I just thought of something. Remember the show where you were talking about Great Britain and how they call themselves great?
Yeah, right.
I was also thinking about the Great Wall of China. So I was like, wait, there's another place that calls themselves great.
That's right. And we're the great United States of America. So
yeah, we are.
At least when
magnificent.
Ben
we can be we're not just great, we're magnificent.
At least when Ben gets on, we're the
magnet. We're the magnet.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
Namaste.
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 Right.
So she's always such a ball of energy, isn't she?
Yeah, I don't know where she gets all that from. I don't have that much energy,
A little bit younger than us, Nick. So
that's the reason I like to travel to 5-star hotels. It's because they're places to go. Right now during COVID-19, not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, they had they were on the Wall Street Journal. They had trips to nowhere people are taking. What they're doing because they're so addicted to flying. And I remember I used to do that. I flew twice a week, every week, to put on events all over the country, and you get addicted to it because you're always every other week you're on an airplane going somewhere. So these people that are what they used to call the road warriors became so addicted and they can't go travel anywhere. So they're doing trips to nowhere. They actually will fly to a place and just turn around and fly back. No one will depart, and people are paying $250 to do it. In Australia, they have flight. This is on the Wall Street Journal. The flights to nowhere. They fly around Australia, and the airplane goes way down to go look at the mountains and whatever, and then they turn around and fly back. And they don't land anywhere, and people are spending $2,700 for first class tickets to go on flights to nowhere. Wow. I'm just letting you know that's where the travel industry is doing.
I would rather rent a yacht and go out on the ocean than spend $2,700.
Well, here's one of the solutions which we mentioned on Med Friday is the testing. Finally, they have testing, and Tampa International was the first one to do this. It looks like where people get tested. Everybody who boards the plane gets tested. The results come back 88% they'll be accurate within 15 minutes, whether or not you're positive. Everybody boards the plane. If everybody passes the test, they're all aboard the plane. Then when they disembark, they're tested again. If anyone's tested bad, they quarantine them. And the whole theory is that, which is what we said on IBM TV in March, you could do that. Okay, now they're just starting to do it many months later. In other words, testing people, basically making them in a bubble. The NBA did that. They're doing it on flights now because the flights, the airline industry is off about 68%. I mean, almost 30. They've lost about 70% of their revenue. And if they don't do something innovative, they're in deep trouble. This is an innovative solution to flying, is testing in bubbles. And that whole concept of testing in bubbles you can do that almost anywhere. It's just that there's not enough brain power, I think, that people have to look for solutions to COVID-19. Instead, everybody politicizes it. Oh, it's bad, it's good, and they don't, they just basically don't look at solutions. But there are solutions. We know ultimately by May of next year, there'll be the vaccines and this whole coronavirus thing will be over with. There is a threat to IBM TV, and Scarlett knows what it is because she mentioned it. It's AR/VR, artificial reality, virtual reality. All right. And we got to watch this, that people put on these little goggles and they get their entertainment through goggles. Think about that one. That can be a game changer. It will be a game changer. The only question
is, on that note, we are working on a couple of shows based on AR/VR.
I know that. We're working on shows based on AR/VR, but Ankit, we have to always stay ahead of the curve. We may have to look at IBM TV on AR/VR. You see what I mean?
That's possible. I mean,
I know that. I totally know that.
Yeah.
Right.
And we know the technology, how to use it. It's just that we need to create a separate process and a production to make sure that it produces a lot of shows based on those gadgets. And we should supply those gadgets, because I'll tell you something. Whenever people try to watch AR/VR, that gadget is costly right now. So very few people have those gadgets at this point of time. But once we have something going on, I think we can definitely work it out.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. That's something that we're going to have to monitor. And those shows are going to be quite interesting because I see that to be a trend that you can't stop. Yes.
I'm going to show something. I'm going to show you what some of this is, because I know one of the owners of one of these really magnificent, and Scarlett can't believe it. And when she found out I knew this guy, she was like, "Can you introduce me?" So anyway, he's done some work for me, and he's pretty phenomenal with his 4D. It's 4D. But can you see it?
Yeah, it's 4D process. Yeah.
It's 4D processing.
Can you run a demo?
Let's see if we can get a demo. So.
Wow.
But yeah, one of the projects, so let's see if I can go into one of the rooms. Here we go. 4D visualization is you could go anywhere in the world and monitor it. One of the demos is actually my company demo. Let's see if I can put it. Yeah. He built a demo for me for our product. This is one of them.
Right.
So you can see where everybody's at, see who they are.
Contact tracing, yeah.
Right. But this is a stadium. And what we do is the minute you can get the blueprint of the stadium, pipe it into our tool, and boom, you're in business. And as long as everybody's wearing their tracker, right, you'll know where everybody's at, what their heart rate is, if they're sick, if they are the right person, So that's one of them. That's mine, which I was really proud that he still shares it. So that was the stadium management and facility management for oil rigs. And so this is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Can you
look like a small city, mini city?
Yeah, but you can, I don't know. Here we go, Unity. So Scarlett got all excited when she found out that I work with this guy. As you can tell, he's fabulous. And he built all of this in like days for me, not weeks or months. We pulled all of this software code in days, and you can see where people are.
So how they utilize it, and after building it, what is the process to monetize these things?
So what we do is, say, for instance, you monitor all of your employees, right, on a site, everybody wears a tracking device, and we have
Okay.
an ID built for them, right down to their picture, and we can pull up who's what they're doing. We can see where they're going. But if the pressure on an oil, say for an oil rig, if the pressure was exceeding a certain limit, then they would all get a notice, and they would all know where to go, because there's usually 2 places that they go, and you have to find it amongst all the smog, the gas, the oil, ruptures. And a lot of times people die because they can't find where they're supposed to go. When I just finished completion of our product, 5 men had died in a doghouse before we could get this out there, because they couldn't find the flags for safety. But they will get a notice on their watch band where to go. But we can also see them from the control center where they're at. We can walk them to safety. As you can see, we can see who they are, what they're doing, where they're at. And you can see this is called Cap Science Labs. I don't know if you can see that up there, but on my tab up at the top, it shows Cap Science Labs. So I was real honored that he continues showing this particular demo. Again, this guy is just fabulous. He's done work for many of the movie studios. But like Nick said, the VR is where it's at. And, as you can see, we can get down to the underneath of the oil rig. We can see what's going on down there below. We can send messages. So we can see who's having problems. So as you can see, it's definitely, VR has a lot more purposes than just entertainment, right?
Right.
So that's what he wanted to prove when I met him. I met him at a startup function in California. And so we got to talking, and I found out who he was and all these great, wonderful things that he can make happen. And he goes, there's more to VR than just entertainment. And so he worked with me, and that's what we were trying to prove is how great is that you actually get to see everybody, the tools they're carrying. We can break it down to when the person goes to a closet, and we identify what tool they took out. And then we can make sure the tool goes back. So all of this can happen. We could do this for the military. We can bubble a military base. We can bubble a military action unit. So because that's an oil rig out in the middle of nowhere. And then the other one was a football stadium. So,
and Kim, I think with technology, what I understand that, we know AR, VR, and we know machine learning, and we know cloud and all this stuff since a while, but to optimize it and to understand it, how to utilize it in the day-to-day life, that takes the time basically. And I think that's why people still don't know how to use VR and AR perfectly for their own businesses. They thought that it's more of a gaming thing. But once we start doing it, and once we start creating awareness, and once we start doing shows on IBM TV, I think a lot of people will start thinking about it and maybe implementing it in their own businesses. So I think that's a great thing, and I think we can talk to that guy and start doing a show with him right away.
Oh, Lou, he is fabulous when it comes to that. And here's the thing, you can go on his site and you can look at all of the creativity he has done for movies, what he can do from a satellite, watching people moving around. We can track people into the jungle. We could play games with it all you want, but my invention was all about saving lives, safety.
Kim, I have a question. Can we ask this guy that can he track coronavirus from the satellite, maybe somewhere?
Track coronaviruses.
Actually, we could. He could build, if he had the data. This is what he tells me: you give me the data, I can make anything happen. He can't.
That's something, because if we start identifying coronavirus at some point of time with something or the other, we can use it through AR, VR and find it out. It's not that difficult, but the difficult part is how we will trace that in reality, and then we can maybe do something else.
What is great about Lou and what he does is he can take any data and turn it into this visual, right? So all he needs is the data, and then you figure out the thresholds and alerts you want, and then he puts it into this 4D visual that makes you feel like this is real life. And what is really cool about this is, say that if you were, say, for instance, a fireman in a house, we can take the blueprint of that house from the city management. The firemen pull up to the house, boom, we put it on there. They got goggles on, and they can see each other in the house now. So they can see where each person is. They can communicate through their goggles. And now you have positioning. They can actually see the house. Whereas they're normally in the fog, they can actually now see the house, because we'll give them a 4D blueprint of it in their goggles. So all of this is patented. All of this is ready to go. And as you can see, that's the front end that I had selected. So hopefully we'll be able to make that happen with some proper investment money. But that's what I wanted to share with you guys.
With investment, I'll tell you something. I mean, tomorrow, Ben Banerjee will be joining us at around 10:15, discussing about impact investments. And they are doing impact investment summit on 26th, 27th October from Switzerland. And they want to also talk about the impact investment. And they're looking for investments and people and businesses and startups around the world who are looking for funds so that they can help them out and make sure that things would work that out. I have a small banner which is ready. I'll just pull that banner up and we can discuss on that.
Yeah, and it looks like we have a lot of people for Startup Wednesday.
So how many new shows do we? That's tomorrow.
There's tons of them for tomorrow.
Wow.
So tomorrow we have like 4 or 5 lined up. One of them just withdraw because they will join us on next Wednesday. But tomorrow I think 4 is confirmed, and then we have our 2 regulars, Dawn and Ketul. So I think 6 people will be there from startup industry to talk about startups and other stuff. But and Ben is also joining for 15-20 minutes at 10:15 just to talk about impact investments.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a pretty busy schedule, and also we got a lot of tons of people for podcasts Thursday too. So we have pretty busy schedule the next couple of days.
I hope that the bandwidth remains intact because we can do a lot of things, but how to plan and manage the bandwidth, that's a real challenge as of now.
Bandwidth is always an issue. I mean, it'll eventually be solved as bandwidth, but especially in Africa, that's been a challenge because I have a lot of people from Africa and Kit that want to get on, but I'm having such a tough time because they get on and then their bandwidth isn't strong enough for the videos in order to be able to transport back and forth.
What time is that tomorrow? What time is Banerjee on tomorrow?
I think 10:15.
10:15.
Yeah.
So this is what they're doing. SIA Impact Summit, Planet, Humanity, and Finance, 26th, 27th October. It's a virtual summit because of the COVID. And this is the 5th Jubilee Summit of the Swiss Impact Investment Association. Will happen online and focus on topics like planet, humanity, and finance. From 26th to 27th October, internationally renowned speakers joining guests from local financial ecosystem to share experiences around successful impact investments, sustainable entrepreneurship, and innovation within the finance sector.
Is this going to be virtual?
This is a virtual, but we are still talking about the broadcasting logistics. But as of now, he will join and discuss about the show.
Right.
The summit which is happening on 26th October.
Yeah, because we get broadcast on IBM TV, but the real problem if they're selling tickets, sometimes they like a closed circuit. They don't want an international broadcast if they're selling tickets. If they weren't selling tickets, so we just broadcast it on IBM.
No, they're selling tickets. They're selling tickets for the summit, which they do. But I told them that if we can just piping and telecast the broadcast live as well, that's also fine. So we'll see. When Ben is available tomorrow, we'll about that.
Yeah.
How that goes.
It looks like a pretty interesting summit coming up. Do we have Vivian China today?
Yeah.
Is it right after this?
Yes.
It'll start in next 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. We have Vivian in China, which is.
Let me play Vivian's intro as well. I think you haven't seen the intro, so that.
Okay, let's see the intro.
Right.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I tell you, we've got some phenomenal shows now. And our technology and the things that we're doing, we've got a team. We've got a family. We don't have a team.
It's always improving, which is really good. Did Bill do his Washington report already?
3 times today, I think.
Hey, I haven't seen it yet because I've been out all day.
Hey, kid, it's 5 minutes.
Can we see Washington report?
Just a moment.
So I get my Washington
right here.
From IBM TV, International Broadcast Media, this is your report from Washington. There are 35 days left until the election. From the Associated Press comes our first story. In an election year like no other, the first debate between President Donald Trump and his Democratic challenger, Joe Biden, could be a pivotal moment in a race that has remained stubbornly unchanged in the face of historic tumult. The Tuesday night debate will offer a massive platform for Trump and Biden to outline their starkly different visions for a country facing multiple crises, including racial justice protests and a pandemic that has killed more than 200,000 Americans and cost millions of jobs. The health emergency has upended the usual trappings of a presidential campaign, lending heightened importance to the debate. But amid intense political polarization, comparatively few undecided voters remain, raising questions as to how or if the debate might shape a race that has been defined by its bitterness and, at least so far, its stability. Biden will step onto the Cleveland stage holding leads in the polls, significant in the national surveys, closer in the battleground states, but facing questions about his turn in the spotlight, particularly considering Trump's withering attacks. And Trump, with only 35 days to change the course of the race, will have arguably his best chance to try to reframe the campaign as a choice election and not a referendum over his handling of a virus that has killed more people in America than any other nation. The debate could be shaped by an extraordinary confluence of other recent moments: the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and the blockbuster revelations about Trump's long-standing hidden tax history, including that he paid only $750 a year in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017, and nothing in many other years. Separately, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is taking extraordinary steps to prepare for the 2020 election, seeking to increase Democrats' hold on state congressional delegations in the highly unusual scenario that the House is called on to resolve a disputed presidential contest. Quote, "We cannot leave anything to chance," Pelosi said in a letter to her colleagues, emphasizing the importance of winning House seats for Democrats, not just to expand their majority, but to prepare for the possibility that the House must settle the presidential race. She said she made the planning public after President Trump claimed recently that if the election ends up in Congress, he has the advantage over Democratic Joe Biden because Republicans control a few more delegations in the House. Quote, "It's sad we have to plan this way, but it's what we must do to ensure that the election is not stolen." She said further that Trump has shown he, quote, "will do whatever it takes to remain in power. Only a few elections have been decided in the House, and none since the 1800s. In other news, more than 1 million people have now died of the coronavirus worldwide pandemic, less than 9 months after the first death was confirmed in the Chinese city of Wuhan. The US, Brazil, India, and Mexico account for more than 50% of the total death toll. What's worse, cases in these stricken countries are still skyrocketing. India recently surpassed 6 million confirmed cases, and 95,000 people have died in the country, although Indian officials warn that these numbers may be woefully underreported. More than 141,000 people have died in the COVID pandemic in Brazil, the second highest total in the world, and the US tops the grim list with more than 205,000 deaths. While the world holds out hope for a vaccine to curb the devastation, there are 35 now in human trials around the world. Health experts worry that the death toll may double before any widespread relief is available. Next, in a new poll that shows that barely 2 in 10 Americans would take a first-generation COVID vaccine if President Trump alone told them it was safe. One of the several new measures of his sinking credibility in the latest wave, according to the Axios COVID Index. Given 8 scenarios and asked how likely they were to try the vaccine in each case, the respondents said they'd be most inclined if their doctor vouched for its safety, 62%, followed by insurance covering the full cost, 56%, and those who would act on Trump's assurances came in dead last at only 19%. Finally, the COVID death toll from Johns Hopkins is over 205,091 American souls lost and 1,002,394 global souls lost with no end in sight. That is your report for this day, September 29, 2020, from IBM TV, International Broadcast Media, smart television for a smarter global community, from dictatorships to democracies around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I'm Bill Trezevant.
Wow. That's a lot to take. And it's our wrap up, I guess. Is Nick here?
I'm here.
Hey,
I was listening to that, and I have some comments relating to the coronavirus, but we'll have to wait on those, I guess. Because we have Vivian China coming up, I guess.
Sure.
Yep. So
And,
I guess
thank
that's
you for coming on Celeb Tuesday, and please watch our Vivian China show just after this one at 2 p.m. EST. And after that, we have one more show on Tuesday. I don't remember which one. And then tomorrow we have Start of Wednesday, so do join us, and then we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, and it's time to wrap.
Namaste.
Namaste.